course, today I'm going to be talking about A Villainess for the Tyrant. This was one of my monthly light novel picks, and this is, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, a Korean web novel that has been published in print, at least for Volume 1. And after Volume 1, I think you can only get the digital edition of it, and I don't think you can even buy the print version of Volume 1 anymore. I'm a little bit sad. I would have liked to continue this more as the print version than through an ebook, but it looks like if I want to read more, I gotta pick up the ebook. So I'll quickly read the back and then I'll discuss the book and the parts that I found really funny or memorable about it. So it says, for Princess Cecile, marriage has always been an inevitable. As the unloved illegitimate child of a neglectful king, she has hardened her heart to the fact that she would be sold off to the most convenient groom her father could find. However, when it soon becomes clear that her impending marriage would be to that of the notoriously sadistic Emperor Estienne, she throws all caution to the wind. If she was to die by her husband's hand, she was going to go down fighting. Unexpectedly, however, she endures her wedding with her head intact, and one night, the Emperor even tells her the secret to surviving within the scheming walls of his palace. She must conquer him in infamy, and forge a name even more fearsome than his own. Can Cecile become the villainess her tyrant requires, or will she succumb to the dangers of the Empire? The story is interesting because even though it reads very much like it's going to be kind of a typical fantasy romance where the main character, Cecile, goes into a arranged marriage and will have to make the best of things. It turns out that there's actually an isekai element to this story where there is a writer to this whole plot and novel who is reincarnated into this story and thought that she was going to become the main character and have the main male love interest be her love interest, and like she designed him to be kind of the ideal for her, and she was not born as the main character. She is, I believe, a holy maiden, priestess, a figure similar to that in the story, and so she schemes a lot of the time to try to take down Cecile and get the Emperor for herself, and that's kind of funny. But beyond that weird plot point that comes up, this is in general just a romantic fantasy where our main heroine thinks that she's marrying this very villainous guy who actually turns out to be quite an innocent softie. Again, he's designed this way intentionally by the original writer of the story, and that does add like points of humor into the whole thing. But yes, he turns out just to be this honorable softie who is not as villainous as people think. I think he is willing to take other actions and become proactive and protective, but it is usually for the betterment of those he loves and the kingdom in general. And so he tells her that if she wants to have the life that she wants, she just has to prove that she is kind of stronger or has more power than he does. So if she can show that she has power over him, everybody will fear her / respect her. And so that becomes this whole thing. But a lot of it, it's a very quick read, and a lot of it is just their relationship and establishing their relationship. It does set up also just world building, simple things, but I think the biggest part of this is just realizing that there was an original story that was written, and whether it's being kind of messed up or because it was laid down, is it actually going to follow those paths? Because the original writer is trying very hard to kind of not necessarily rewrite things, but just work her way into becoming that main character. And I don't know, I find that the most interesting part of this. I did laugh at quite a few of the schemes. I had a good time with it. I don't know, like looking back, I'm reflecting now, having read it a while ago. There was quite a lot I enjoyed about it. I thought that it was humorous. I liked the characters. I thought the whole author subplot was funny. Like, that added a lot of the humor and interesting. Also didn't, like, love her as a character, so a lot of times I was just kind of, like, more skimming. Not really skimming, I still read it, but, like, her parts, other than, like, how will it impact the main couple, I didn't love as much as following the main character, if that makes sense. Like, it was fine knowing that, and I think it added to the overall plot, but I didn't like being in her mind. Because she's just, like, this weird character that is too obsessed with, like, getting whatever she wants at whatever means necessary, and so I didn't like her, but I liked her impact on the overall story. And I don't know, I had a good time. I would definitely recommend it. Again, I think you can only get this online through digital readers, but I would recommend it if you want to pick it up and give it a try. It's A Villainess for the Tyrant. Again, I don't think you can get the print anymore, but if you see it online, go ahead and give it a read. I thought it was funny. I thought it was nothing, like, too new, and yet everything worked in a pleasing way that was a little bit fresh. So would recommend. And I do love this cover art for this. I don't remember, I don't think there was no insert pictures, but I love the cover art. I think it's gorgeous. And that's about it. Until next time, bye.